Hello, everybody. This is Tyler Worseth here. Here's my tail. And Tomb Raider 2 theory is something that I've been tossing around. It's not something that I really want to talk about. But I guess, sometime I have to talk about stuff like that. So, Tomb Raider 2 is my mother's favorite game. I still don't know why. Maybe because of how it flows. But then again, the pacing is off. You go from China to Italy to an offshore rig in the Pacific to under the Pacific Ocean and like ships to Tibet to China again and then to London. So the pacing to me is way off. The game is better than its predecessor. I've already done a review to Tomb Raider 2. Not that people really cared, so I did not upload them. And besides, I lost those videos. Of all my reviews, I've lost them all, so I have to start from scratch. And so, what to talk about for Tomb Raider 2 theory? Well, I'll be back. Tomb Raider 2, you can save anywhere. You have colored bars. You roll underwater, and you can do the 180-degree roll. So we focus on Croft Manor, the treasure room, because that is what is treasured. It's my own apartment. And of course you have the treasure room because it is what could be, what is potentially significant to the apartment. So the Great Wall has two T-Rexes guarding a gold dragon, which, if you get all the secrets, means that you have the grenade launcher. And the grenade launcher is a very powerful weapon that destroys everything. It's a grenade like a nuke, basically. It wrecks everything. And yeah, each place represents something. China represents grandeur. Venice represents bombastic tendencies. Offshore rig is the sense of hopelessness. Pacific Ocean is feelings buried deep. Tibet is true self rising to the surface. China, the second time, is corruption from other people and acceptance. England is I don't give a fuck attitude, which is at the end. So Tomb Raider 2 represents a time in my life where where people are just feeding stuff into my mouth and saying that I do this, I do that, and I do whatever. Um, and so there are some things to look out for, like the T-Rexes guarding the secret. The T-Rexes are actually guarding the grenade launcher, the item of destruction, essentially. That's what they're going after. And what the grenade launcher represents is my inner wrath, I would say. That's why you have instances where you have to use it, because the inner wrath has to consume other people to keep going, essentially. And yeah, this game is very weird how it's set up. Reason for that is because it's these memories that are stitched together, essentially. You have all these childhood memories of mine that are stitched together. Venice, you have the false boat. You have to sacrifice a boat in order to progress. You sacrifice it to the mines. The boat is a vehicle. It's a vehicle of transportation, right? And the boat represents going from place to place. It's a transportation. At some point in my life, there was a car that was destroyed or something. Something happened to it, and another car had to be brought up. It was like a green car. It was small. It wasn't like an SUV. It was like a car. But I think it represents that. Bartoli's hideout, you're storming the entrance. You're storming the entrance and gunning everybody down. Apparently, this is a problem with people, right? This is a problem with people being antagonistic towards you because you do certain things that are kind of taboo. Like for me, I wouldn't play with other people. I would definitely do my studies and go inside. I wouldn't play with other people. I was kind of isolated. Opera House is basically a show that's put on. Of course, you see the Opera House and it's not in the best state. The show is getting old. The Tyler that pretends is getting old, and it's becoming desolate, you know. And the challenge of getting past the Opera House is because of how challenging it is to get rid of that false image that you have of yourself to yourself. So that's kind of what happens. The offshore rig has a hole in the ramp. You're going on a downward journey. you're going deeper and deeper into the offshore rig, right? Um, and there's a hole because there is a secret. There's a there's a point where you don't just go downward all the time. There's a point where you progress. There's some part of you that is like, hey, I'm here, I'm positive, I am going to uplift you, you know? And that's kind of what the hole represents. It's the deepest portion in your soul that says, hey, there is a light. Um, for the diving area, you have the Jade Secret, which is underwater and is guarded by these harpoon guys. So the Jade Secret, and in order to get it, you actually have to go behind a hidden panel and push a button to open the grate below underwater. What's interesting about the Jade Secret is that it is very, very deep within the water. It's not apparent at all. It's very hidden. Why is it hidden? It's because that secret is not something that Tyler wants to reveal. It's not something that he wants to reveal at all. It's something very hidden. We will find out later what it is. But for now, I would say that the Jade Secret is pertaining to a love for the water, in this case. It will go deeper once we're in the water, but yeah. So the Pacific Ocean levels, all of it should be analyzed if you're really looking deep into Tomb Raider 2. 40 fathoms, you start out at the bottom of the ocean and you gotta find a submarine. And through each of these layers, you're going deeper and deeper within the ship, the big ship. Within this ship, there are other ships within it, which is very weird. My point is, at this part, is to focus on every single level except for the living quarters, which you focus on the pistons. The pistons represent the machine of your very being, your very essence. It's working. You have to change its polarity. You got to change its direction. It goes up over here. It goes up over here. The Pacific Ocean is like all of the feelings that are very deep inside of me that are just there, that are not revealed to anybody else. And you can kind of see everything is kind of broken. There are broken feelings in there. There are broken pieces of shipwrecks and broken pieces of glass. There is a lot of broken things represented. And you got to fill up water levels up and down sometimes because the water is something that I am attracted to. The water floods everything because it is so deep within the ocean. And the ocean is kind of like a sanctuary. It's a place full of dead things, dead feelings, broken feelings, feelings that are mismatched. Um, so if you look at these levels, you'll see that there are lots of enemies that you've seen before. Um, these are people that are antagonistic towards the feelings. Um, so the focus of Tomb Raider 2 is in the mind. The mind is the key. Feelings are part of the mind. They are not part of the heart. The heart beats and whatever, but you have emotions and feelings from the mind. So, yeah, a lot of emotions within the Pacific Ocean. And where you find the Seraph is an old bunker. It's a shelter. Another word for bunker is a shelter. It's a shelter that hides the Seraph itself, the prized object of the Tibetan monks. And this object is very important to their religion, essentially. So within the shelter is this praised object, this worshipped object, which would represent, the Seraph itself represents my relationship with God. I shelter my love for Him and my respect for Him because I'm afraid that it will get destroyed by these flamethrower guys. These flamethrower guys represent the big antagonists, the ones that will attack what I believe to be what I believe that God does, and it still goes on today. People don't believe what I believe, and they think that they are right, that they have the authority, that they understand what the Bible says and what God is saying in the Bible, which I feel like nobody understands. Really. We are not meant to understand what God is actually like. We are meant to interpret what He is like, but not understand completely. I think you can be prideful if you try to assert that you completely understand what God is like. And that's why I hide what I believe in, because it may get people riled up. It may get people political and also just against what I actually believe. If you want to know what I believe in, you look at the books. The books will explain kind of what I believe in and why I believe in that. Not like as the basis of the story, unless you read the Trinity, but within the stories themselves, explicitly. Anyway, so we go to Tibet, right? And the way we do it is we take a floater up to the surface and go into the seaplane that we got on to get to the offshore rig, right? And we crash into a mountain and we parachute out at the last minute on the Tibetan foothills. Now, Laura or Tyler is making a grand entrance. He is saying, hey, this is my true self coming out and it's going to be shot down. like it's going to be totally shot down. And you see this within the Tibetan levels. Um, you see the snowmobile, which is all the blood that Tyler's given for the uh, for his beliefs. It's his very essence, his very being. He is driving his essence. You know, it goes, and then he replaces it with scars. He gets scarred. That's represented by the black snowmobile that has guns on it. It has scars, and those scars are very hurtful, very deadly. Um, and there's one other, two people that have scars as well that are shooting back at Tyler, you know, with their own emotions. Two people in his life. Um, and at this point, it is his stepmom and his grandmother on his mother's side. That's what I believe. Um, so you go through the Tibetan foothills and you go to the Barkane Monastery. They praise these wheels. Wheels turn, right? Wheels are representative of the cycle, are representative of the routine, and each wheel is misplaced. Each wheel is in a location that is hidden, that is well guarded by some type of puzzle, a combat puzzle, a timing puzzle. All these puzzles are set up to where they are hard to find, and these prayer wheels represent prayers. They are 5 prayers given to Tyler. And why they are in the locations that they are is because they are tests. They are tests to Tyler. They are tests to his beliefs. And so these prayers are to uphold these beliefs. If you ask me what I thought the 5 prayer wheels would be in my childhood, prayers to uphold my beliefs, right? Who I am, what I am, where I am, when I am, and who, what, when, where, why I am. Those are the 5 prayers that fuel up the beliefs. These questions are part of the identity that I am setting up myself. And we then go to Catacombs of the Talion, where before that, we use the syrup to open a small door. It doesn't open up the big stone dais. It does not open that. It opens a small door that is hidden. Why? Because the Talion is representative of Tyler's attraction in general. The Talion is what opens up the door to Tyler's journey of acceptance from other people, in this case. As a child, I wanted acceptance from other people. So this is what represents that. So in the Ice Palace, you have to deal with springs. springs basically spring into action. Your true self is going into motion. It's being present. And once we do that, we go and get the Talion from this icy place, this place that has been long abandoned and is infested by a Garuda. A monster guards the key to acceptance. Why? Because the world is represented by this monster. We have to defeat this monster in order to get the key to acceptance in our lives. Well, in my life, simply. And so we then go to Temple of Jihan, which is full of traps and puzzles and stuff like that. Why? Because it's guarding something. What is it guarding? Well, it's guarding Tyler's inner acceptance. In these 3 levels, Temple of Xi'an, Floating Islands, and Dragon's Lair, you see Tyler at his most basic level. His mind is captured at this most basic level. That's why you see the floating islands. Because these are different thoughts of his acceptance, just melded together in the form of a temple at the end. But they are separate in the beginning. They are separate because this is the empty space where Tyler thinks about himself. There are holes. There are gaps. Why? Because Tyler doesn't fully know himself. Tyler doesn't fully understand how to accept himself. And these questions, the 5 prayers, for these questions to be answered, they are kind of non-existent at this point. Tyler has gone off the deep end and is contemplating his existence in life. And simply, the Dragon's Lair represents his transformation into somebody that is attracted to animals. It represents the thing that has been hidden throughout this entire game, the thing that has been hidden, that has been alluded to, transforming into a dragon. That is the big thing of this game, and that is shown at the very end. Why? Because this is Tyler's own attraction. His attraction that he's been hiding for so long. And for me, going through this game is like going through a journey. It's like going through a journey of my childhood. And accepting that I actually am attracted to stuff like dragons and other things. I didn't know the term furry, but, I am one of those. And Tyler fights against his own attraction. He buries it deep within himself. He takes the dagger, which is the transforming agent, and says, okay, this is mine. Why? Because he wants to transform himself. He is seeing his own attraction manifest into something that is a monster, essentially, a dragon. This is his own attraction manifesting. And so what he decides to do is he decides to kill the attraction itself and bury it deep within. But the antagonizers of the game, the humans with guns, they come to Laura's house, Tyler's apartment, and they try to rob him of the dagger, the transforming agent. Now, this is not actually real. The Home Sweet Home is not real to me. To me, this is within Laura's mind. She is waiting for somebody to take this item from her. She has been waiting for so long, and they finally decided to take it from her. This is in her own mind. This is in Tyler's mind. People are trying to take away what makes Tyler Tyler. And so Tyler has to defend himself, and he says at the end that, haven't you seen enough? Honestly, haven't. That is one of the questions that is very persistent within this game. Have you seen enough? Have you seen enough of the struggle of Tyler coping with the stuff that in his mind? Acceptance. Acceptance is a big part of it. So this is one of those videos where I do a deep dive and try to relate to my life in some way, shape, or form. And, well, it's hard, but not impossible. I can see things within my life that are within this. It's just my childhood was so spotty in my mind that I hardly remember it. But this brings back some memories of me trying to accept myself for what I am. Because what I am is not human. What I am is what I am to me. That's what matters to me. I don't care what other people think about me. I really don't. Why? Because I have been hurt by people who think that they know what I like. That people know what I like to do, what I represent myself as, and what I profess myself as in my beliefs. But honestly, you be you. You be your inner you. And if you want to show it, that's fine, but you don't have to show it. All you have to do is show it to yourself. That is kind of the lesson. And what is in your mind is sacred to your mind. Don't let people take what is your beliefs and change it for their own good. Because people will do that every time. Even if they have good intentions, they will try to change what you're thinking to make it more like what they're thinking. Like my church group. They're trying to get me to think that God judges at the end. I said that he judges in a different way that we can't understand. They say that he can judge in a way that we understand. It's just the ways of Jesus. But I don't feel like I should argue about that stuff. I should stay quiet because what I believe is in my books. And what is in my books feels right to me. feels like it's the way. Yeah, he judges, but it doesn't matter where I come from. It doesn't matter what I represent myself as. I could still strive towards being like Jesus in whatever way I want to be. I could be a furry, scaly, and bisexual creature still striving towards Jesus' ways and still be that identification, no matter what they say. So anyway, that's Tomb Raider 2. So Laura in this game really doesn't give a fuck. And that's because she is trying to accept herself as the titular action adventure exploration archaeologist person. She likes history, kind of. She only likes history if it benefits herself. And that's kind of me. I like history if it benefits my understanding, you know? Anyway, that's Tomb Raider 2 theory. I hope you enjoyed it. A lot of touchy-feely things, but it's required for something like this relating to my life. Anyway, this is Tyler Voice Without. Have a good day. Bye.